Hey yo, what's up bro? It's Gains.byfenton here, and in this video I'm going to be going over the engineer's meal plan framework for shedding fat, no bullshit required. So in this video I feel like a lot of guys are so overwhelmed with the fact that they have to track all their macros, weigh every gram, and in this video I'm going to show you a more simplistic way on how you can eat in a healthy way to obtain a good physique. So let's get right into the video. We're going to talk about the protein-centered plate building. This is gonna be the first principle. Every meal starts with protein, period. All right, so why this works better than counting calories? When you prioritize protein first, three things happen automatically. Number one, you stay fuller longer. So the great thing about the protein macronutrient is that the more protein that you have, the more satiated that you become. Carbs give you energy, protein gives you the ability not to be fucking hungry. That's the number one rule about protein. All right, number two, you preserve muscle during fat loss. The more protein you have, the more muscle you obtain, which means it's easier to keep the muscle when you're losing fat. Number three, you naturally crowd out bullshit foods, okay? I have never fucking seen a person who is super obese overeat on fucking protein. Most time you see fat ass people, it's because they eat too much Oreos, they eat too much ho-hos, fucking Twinkies. That processed fat and carbs is all they eat, and then they get fucking huge. But when you eat a lot of fucking protein, that shit keeps you full, and it's damn near impossible to fucking get fat off a diet that's rich in protein. The rule is super simple. You wanna have one palm size of portion of protein per meal. You're gonna pick 3 to 4 sources for the week and rotate them. You're gonna avoid reinventing the wheel every meal, okay? You're gonna keep it KISS. Keep it stupid simple. This is an example that you can follow. Monday, Thursday, you can do chicken. Tuesday, Friday, could be ground turkey. And then Wednesday, Saturday, something like salmon. And then Sunday, you can just pick any of the 3 proteins. You're building a system that's repeatable, easy for you to do, which means it's gonna be easy for you to follow, okay? All right, so boom, let's get in some of the daily anchors. So daily anchors are gonna be your go-to meals throughout the fucking day, bro. So this is gonna be outside of the 3 protein meals that you circulate, which would more be so your dinner. These anchor meals are gonna be meals that you always follow and use every day, right? That's the whole point. Most people fuck this up trying to make every meal different. This is not optimization, it's chaos. Okay, you need to have some structure. I'm gonna go over why this works and how you can do it. Eat the same breakfast daily, okay? So pick a breakfast that you really fucking like. You can do something like 3 eggs, spinach, and berries. Something that's great for you, something you like your go-to breakfast. It's gonna take 5 minutes, hit your protein target, and you never have to think about what the fuck you gotta eat. That simple. Your second meal that you're gonna always have that's gonna be consistent is gonna be your post-workout meal. Protein shake with banana, simple, consistent, fucking automated. All right, so bam, these are gonna be the 2 meals. It's gonna be usually breakfast and your post-workout meal, and those are gonna be your anchors throughout your diet. This is gonna eliminate 60% of your daily food decisions right off the bat. It's gonna make it that much simpler to actually follow a plan and routine that's gonna get you fit and in shape and have the body that you want. The whole point that is all about consistency. Breakfast is on autopilot, so you're not in your kitchen at 7 a.m. cooking some perfect meal while you're running late from work. You already know what you make. It's a routine, it's a structure. You can make it real fast. It's a breakfast that you love, and you get on with the fuck with your day. So these are some of the characteristics that your anchor should have, all right? It should be quick to prepare under 10 minutes, hit all your protein targets, and it automatically tastes good to you, okay? That's so important. If you hate your anchor meals, the system falls apart. You have to create anchor meals that are packed in great macronutrients. That's the key. All right, let's get into rotating carbs. We talked about the protein. We talked about our anchor meals. Now we're gonna get into how we should handle the carbs. So when it comes to carbs, people either go full keto, that's no carbs, or consume bread like it's fucking run out of style. That's typically only 2 options that people utilize. But their issue is they're not using carbs in the way that they are meant to be intended. The engineer approach is to rotate based on your energy demands. That's where the magic happens. So high intensity workout days, you do stuff like rice, potatoes, and oats. Your high intensity days is gonna be the times where you pack in the most carbs. Lower activity days are gonna be where you do vegetables and smaller portions of carbs. You're not as intense as the high intensity days, but you're still getting an adequate amount of carbs in your system. And then your rest days is gonna be mostly vegetables and minimum starchy carb. You wanna keep the carbs as low as possible on the days where you're not expending a lot of energy. But the key is you're not counting grams, you're adjusting portions based on logic, what makes sense. You're going to use your brain to engineer your way into a great body while having a great diet while following these principles. Here's an example. You had a hard workout day, that's going to be bigger serving of rice with dinner. If you had a desk day, maybe you just had a walk, then that's going to be something more like you're skipping the rice and you're doubling up the vegetables. Carbs are going to be like server resources. Save them based on your current demand, okay? You use carbs and you need them and use them in the most efficient way. All right, so the portion control is going to be all visual. So your high activity, you're going to do a cup handful of carbs. Your moderate activity is going to be half cup handful of carbs. And then on your low activity, it's going to be mostly vegetables. So what this does is automatically is going to create the calorie deficit you need for fat loss without mental overhead or tracking every macro. It's a system that works that's going to allow you a simplistic way to eat in a caloric deficit. So getting into low effort planning. This section, we're going to talk about a very easy way to plan out how your meal structure is going to go each week. So it's something that you can easily follow, easily keep up with, so that you can get results. So planning, this is going to be where engineers either excel or completely overcomplicate things. We as engineers like to overthink shit, right? We like to make shit harder than it needs to be. And the thing you want to do is make this as simple as possible. Sunday planning session is going to be 15 minutes max. Step one, you're going to check your calendar. How many high activity days do you have this week? All right, so you can start thinking about how you're going to plan your meals. Step two, you're going to shop for your protein rotation and anchor ingredients. You're going to start thinking about, okay, what are the 3 proteins I'm going to get? All right, am I going to get Bacon Alaska? Am I going to get chicken thighs? Am I going to get rotisserie chicken? Am I going to get ground turkey? Am I going to get ground beef? You're figuring out your protein and you make sure it's going to hit your macros adequately, and you're planning that out for the week. Step 3, you're going to prep one thing, usually your protein, for 3 to 4 days. All right, so you're going to prep your protein for the 3 to 4 day period. For everything else, use the restaurant hack. When you get 3 or 4 days established, you can use a restaurant hack to fulfill those other days. This is what I mean. Every restaurant has grilled protein and vegetables. A Chipotle bowl with double chicken, or you can do a Thai place with grilled chicken and veggies. The key is having your framework dialed in so you can have good decisions anywhere without overthinking. Say you do a 3 or 4 day resume that's a little more simple than doing all 7 days. You can then throw in restaurants into your diet to solve the issue while still ordering a healthy fucking meal from the restaurant. I personally do this. I follow my meals throughout the week, and 2 days out the week, I'm going to order from a restaurant in a healthy way. For example, say you're out with your fucking coworkers, right? And you're at a restaurant. You know that what you need to focus on is lean grilled protein and vegetables. That's what you're going to order. That's what you're going to consume. And this allows you to order accordingly, right? Because you know that I have those 2 to 3 days where I'm going to eat out anyway, right? It simplifies things. So this system scales with your life instead of fighting against it. All right, so let's get into the most important part, right? The mindset shift. So you're going to stop trying to optimize every single meal and start trying to optimize the system. So perfect meal planning does not exist, but consistent, good enough meal planning is going to beat perfect consistency every time, okay? It's all about consistency. It's not about everything that you do in your diet is by the book and strict and perfect, because you're not going to stick with the shit anyway, right? The goal isn't to win a bodybuilder show, right? You want to lose fat while maintaining your sanity and career. So this framework gives you 80-20 results, 80% of the benefits with 20% of the effort. All right, that's what's so great about this shit. So now I ask you the question, will you get faster results tracking every macro? Maybe you will. Maybe you are that type of person who can be disciplined and track every macro. But will you actually stick with it long enough to see results? The answer is probably not. You probably won't stick with it long enough. Most people don't. So this is a better method that's gonna create something that's gonna be easier for you to stick to. Finally, let's talk about taking action. These are some things that you can do that I need you to do. If you find yourself overcomplicating fat loss and need a system that fits into your engineering lifestyle, just try this for 30 days. See if this is something that will work for you. Start first by picking your daily anchors this week. 2 meals a day that you will eat consistently. All right, so every day, try the first week. Maybe you start, hey, I'm gonna have my 2 anchor meals that I really like, that I'm going to repeatedly eat. See if I have enough discipline to do that shit, right? That's the first step. Then you can add the protein first rule in the other meals. Don't try to implement everything at once. As an engineer, you should know better. You don't want to speed the process, right? Because you know that's not how the shit works. Build the system piece by piece until it's automated. So you're gonna start to establish habits bit by bit until you build a system that is repeatable and is built to give you success. And bro, that's it, bro. This is the meal plan strategy from an engineer that can help you into getting in shape. All right, that's it, bro. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.